Welcome back, my friends, all to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors, a Jack Wolf Knives rendition. Now, I'm out in the front yard. We're going to do this one a little different. Every asshole in Green Cove Springs has decided to ride by. If you followed the channel for any length of time, you know Jack Wolf's knives. I love them. They send them to me to review. You got to know that before we start. So what we do is we actually use the sumbitch. That's what they're made for. Now, we're going to run through this thing. These knives dropped Friday. I tried to get a video out Friday. As many of you know, I was headed out of town camping, and I got down there, no reception. I lost the video I had, blah, blah, blah. So we're just going to do it today. We're going to put in the work. This is the Big Bro Jack. The artwork is always dope. Now, here's the deal. Y'all know I could give two shits about packaging and fit and finish and all that personally and for the channel. But when it comes to something that's this good, and listen, let's do it this way. That's a aluminum or a steel. It's a metal can, whatever, but it's not cardboard. It's not cheap. They do it well. And that's one thing with Jack Wolf you have to mention is the packaging. And the only reason that I would mention it is for the simple fact, the packaging matches the knife. If it didn't match the knife, if the knife wasn't good, we wouldn't spend the time on it. But they do a phenomenal job. They send you a lot of little goodies. One thing I've yet to figure out is how the hell the knife community is so big in the stickers now. I'm not knocking it. I collect them from different channels. I'm a sucker for them too. It's just kind of an odd pairing. So Jack Wolf sends you stickers. They send you a leather slip. And I love this part as much as I love anything. Something to slide the slip joint in. I love that. But there's a lot of channels that review these and they give you such a good look at it. I'll post some of those videos in the description. Donnie B. All Day is a great one. There's some other guys, and I'll post them in the description so you can get all the nuanced looks like you deserve. I mean, if you're going to spend the money on this caliber of a knife, then you need to get a good look at it. I'm going to tell you right now, that's gorgeous. Let me see if I can get it in the light. That is absolutely sick, man. Here's what I'm going to do. Let me see. Look at that. Dude, that's just badass. Now, these reviews are always a little different than what I normally do. Man, y'all killed that, dude. God, y'all killed that. Let me just stand back here for a minute, get it in focus. That's kind of like that. What is that song? Nobody Does It Better. Dude, that is just absolutely amazeballs. Now, let's take a look at the blade. S90V. I absolutely love it. Clip point. Now, let's see if you can hear that walk and talk. Boom, 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 boom. See that? They got a neck clip. It's a fuller. It's a neck clip, but it looks like a fuller. That is badass. You see Jack Wolf there. You see that edge. Let's cut some stuff up with it. These might be my favorite handle scales I've ever received. That's my asshole dog barking. Tucker, we all know him. This is 2-inch ratchet strap. Do-do-do-do-do. I hope y'all had a good weekend, man. Let's see what we got here. Let's do 2 pieces. The function is the main thing to me. Does it come sharp? Is it comfortable? Can you use the knife? A knife should come sharp. It is a detail that I am very particular on. And here's the truth. If you're going to pay, what is it, $300 for one of these, it needs to be sharp. They do a good job of bringing it in sharp. Again, now, one thing I've come to appreciate with slip joints is the walk and talk. I like about a medium pull. That's me personally. These, I'd say this is medium to high. It's not a super tough pull, but I don't want a super tough because I actually, and when I say this, it gets misconstrued sometimes because I can be somewhat of a smart ass and you say, oh, I don't believe it, Scab. Well, I can. But the thing is I use it. So if I use it, I don't want to fight with it. You know what I'm saying? So it cuts the ratchet strap, no problem. Let's go with an old man pinch grip. See that? Now, didn't go all the way through, but I didn't apply a lot of pressure. Let's see what it takes. There we go. Let's do it again. Let's add a little more pressure. One of the reasons, guys, I'm not adding as much pressure on this thing is there's nails all in this thing. But we'll come here. That rooster crows, son, every chance it gets about said an ugly word there. All right, we've cut that, what, 6, 7, 8 times. Let's move over to the car. I've got some thicker material over there I want to check out. We'll cut some ratchet straps. We'll cut some sandblast hose. We're going to cut some zip ties. Let's check it out. Let me give you a good look here, though, in the hand. Fills up my hand. Couple different grips. Now, it's a slip joint. We all grew up with slip joints. They're smaller pocket knives, but this, honestly, get a pretty good feel right there. Again, I'll put you some videos in the description that'll give you all the bells and whistles and stuff. But let's just see how it cuts out. Guys, these handle scales are the Kieranite Oz Green or Kieranite OZ Green. Absolutely damn gorgeous. Let's do these zip ties. Now, if you're new to the channel, I know a lot of you are, if you're new to the channel, cutting the zip ties is not to show the sharpness of the knife. A knife should be able to cut a zip tie. But what the zip tie test does is it puts up, see if we get any chipping, any rolling, does it warp the blade, does it do anything? A lot of times with knives, man, we all want to act like, we're going to survive in our underwear and all that shit. But the truth is we spend more time at work cutting zip ties, boxes, shit like that. So we like doing basic stuff. No damage there to the edge. Let's jump on this right here. This is 4-ply, 1-inch inner diameter blast hose reinforced. Now, these are hollow ground, thin slicers. Look at that, son. And I'm honestly, this is probably the toughest sandblast hose we've had on here by far. I know it is because I'm the one that does the purchasing of it. Let's see here. I'll show you all that. So for it just to do that, and I'll tell you what we're going to do, get it right back in that hole there. So putting this kind of pressure, now it's about to go, but putting this kind of pressure, there's no real hot spot. The handle's incredibly comfortable. Let's do it one more time. Like butter, son. That's 1-inch diameter. Sandblast hose, 1-inch diameter, reinforced 4-ply. Like I said, most of the time, as much as we want to act like we're going to survive or something like that, we do common everyday tasks with it. Make some nice little curls right there. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, this is pine. We use what we have. Here's the thing. Why would I try to bullshit you or get some kind of hard ass wood when that's not what's around me day in and day out? I live in Northeast Florida. Now, this is obviously a piece of pine from work, a piece of dunnage. But still, I said it the other day and I'll stand by it. If a heat treat's bad, it don't take a concrete block to chip a blade, Jack Wolf seems to do a good job. Ben does a good job. Ben and his team do a good job with their QC. They put out a good product. Ben has a vision for what he wants to do. And again, I've said this many, many times because I'm the world's most redundant human being, but I've said it over and over. Sharpness matters, quality matters, and one of the biggest vibes for me about a knife isn't aesthetics. It's how it functions, And you know if a knife's going to work, if it's not. Now, this is just some mule tape. No problem there. It's a cutting little bastard. I know that, but a hollow ground should be, right? And it is. So if you're going to slice an apple or open a box or do something like that, I just did, you know. Let's cut one more piece of ratchet strap and we'll move on to something else. I'll be honest with you. The biggest thing to me, like cutting that sandblast hose, when I was pressing like that, there's a lot of knives, especially slip joints. See how straight that is? That would dig in your hand. This one didn't. It just kind of contoured. I was able to push hard. There was nothing on that pivot. And again, people don't really understand. If you're not around sandblast hose, and not many people are, but it's just a real heavy industrial type material. And for me, it tells me a couple things. You know, it's not just the sharpness, it's the build quality, it's the hot spots, it's the whole nine. Now, we're going to strip a little extension cord and move right along. The Big Bro from Big Skate. Okay, real quick, before we do the extension cord, this is a piece of high pressure, or this is a piece of high pressure air hose. That's the beauty of working in an industrial shop. Let me just give you a look at that. Now, a lot of people, and I read comments all over the board, and I hear what people say, and a lot of people have said, in particular about my channel, well, not everybody works in a mechanic shop or an industrial shop. No, I understand it quite well. One of the things is this: if you collect, man, that's awesome. These are unbelievable collector's items. They're just gorgeous from that standpoint. From a fit and finish stand, dude, they're gorgeous. From a build quality, they're insane. So even if you don't use the knife, which if you don't, you don't. I ain't make shit to me. It ain't my knife, it's yours. But whether you use it or don't, this is a knife I would buy. And just being honest with you. Now, what I wanted to do here, and really, guys, all this stuff here, when I do this shit, it's not highly scientific. I just like seeing if the knife works. Now, the knife point's about here, so I want to be careful. And I don't know why I like this part so much, but one thing I like to do is just slide the knife in like that. Pull it. Some of it's just kind of controlling that tip. Some of it's seeing if the knife will fold down, which I don't want it to because I like my fingers. But just getting a groove and a feel for the knife. And again, if you collect and never cut anything, if you work in an office setting, you're like, dude, that's just not my jam. I get it. But it's nice to know it can. It's nice to know if you are in some kind of screwy situation. And dude, if y'all are like me, sometimes life just puts you in some dumbass positions. You're like, yeah, almighty. So it's good to know that not only are these good looking knives, not only are they high end materials, but the sumbitch works, right? All right, let's go get on some electrical cord. Then we'll cut some paper and we'll call it a day. Ben, I'm digging it. The Big Bro. All right, so here's what I want to do. I brought this over. I don't want to slice it. I want to take the knife and put it over here. And I want to go straight down. We're going against the grain of that reinforced shit. All right. All the way down. Let's do it this way. I just don't want it to flip out of my hand, because if it's going to do it to anybody, it'd be me. Now, the knife pushes straight down, son, like it ain't even there. And I'll give you all a good look at the... So there's a good look there and there. Just a straight push. We're putting pressure on that pivot. Does it prove anything? Hell, I don't know. Proves it'll do it, don't it? See, that's why you want to be careful right there. I have zero desire today. I've had a good weekend camping. I'm glad to be home. Zero desire to put that sumbitch through my hand. But if anybody's going to do it, it'll be old Scabarino. There we go. There's one. And we'll do one more of these, because I am King Redundant. Captain Redundant, whatever the hell. Straight down, and we're putting a good bit of pressure. Just got to be careful. And just so y'all know, I try to be mindful. Sometimes I make it look a little more herky-jerky than what it is. Add a little drama to the situation. All right, so let's do this. There we go. Somebody said one time, I'll never cut no extension cord. I don't expect you to do it. That's why I do it. Again, isn't it nice to know it can? That's right, Scab. Thank you. Give me 1 second. I don't like doing this, but give me 1 second. Let me just see where we're at. All right, y'all can see it pretty good. The other side is, guys, I know these are a little longer videos when I do them this way, but with a pocket knife, I honestly feel it's a little more imperative for me to do it in this way. That way I'm in the moment telling you what I'm thinking. And it's not that, you know, when I narrate it that I change my mind. It's just sometimes, like with a fixed blade, you can do that. I can look at a fixed blade, I can work with a fixed blade, and then I can tell you my thoughts after. With a pocket knife, for whatever reason, and it's just me. I know that many of you are perfect and you wouldn't have that issue, but I do. It's amazing that I got the few subscribers I got, huh? But in the moment, I'm telling you exactly what I'm thinking. That's when I tell you why I do something, it's not justifying it. It's just to give you a little inner look. And sometimes people go, Scab, that's not necessary, or I don't do that. You may not, but this is something that I've done a ton in my life, and I do a lot in my life. Not just stripping extension cord, but, you know, underground utility locates, we had to strip it back so we could clamp on. At work, I find myself a lot of times having to splice it back to put a new prong on, or a new something on. So again, this is something that I do quite a bit, or cut the plug off something. So the knife handles very, very well. There's no doubt about that. Jack Wolf's a little bit of a cut above there. And what we're going to do, quick pull, quick pull. Damn thing's looking good. Guys, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, that number fluctuates, and on the weekends, it's higher. That's why here on my channel, I focus on the number 0. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. Vets, I love you. Man, you got a place here. People ask me if I've ever served. No. My wife has. My son has. He still is. He's in the National Guard. He was in the Marines, now he's in the Guard. So vets and their issues are very, 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 very much on my heart. I love you, and just want you to know, man, you have a place here. You're welcome here. I back the blue. Man, we do not live in a time where it's cool to do that, and I understand it. And if you disagree with it, I get it. I do. But before you say back the blue till it happens to you, it's happened to me quite a bit more than it'll happen to most. I have my reasons. I'm not arguing about it. I don't shove it down your throat. Finally, if you are an addict, Lord knows I am, never quit quitting. Guys, I love you. I'm going to go in. I do want to slice up a little paper and just kind of see what kind of edge we got left. That S90V should be holding in there pretty good. Let's go check it out. That's up to you. The Jack Wolf's Big Bro. I tore the shit out of that. That don't count. Now we've cut all that stuff. Y'all watch. Still a really good edge. I'm going to strop her up, put her in my little leather satchel there, and start carrying it. Man, again, brother, good job. These handle scales are dope, super sharp. It's held an edge really well. I'm Scab. You're not. The Big Bro from Jack Wolf Knives. We gone, son.